Is there anybody here who has not ever tried Mike's Hot Honey before? That's for you. That's for you. First of all, tell me a little bit about the story here.
So eventually I got it together to bottle it and start selling it off the bar, and that was November of 2010.
Open it up. Let's see what it does, man. Daniel, insert the angel singing.
Good Pie was the first pizzeria in Las Vegas to use our product.
Honey is one of those things that doesn't work very well in an oven because why?
The original is more of a back of the palate heat. The extra hot is a little bit more front of the palate.
So you do a swirl or you do a drizzle?
I like a zig.
I want to see you do it, dude.
So
This is like watching the guy who pulled the
first of all,
iPhone
most
talk on the
important
iPhone.
thing, laces out, label facing the camera. Always very important for Instagram, for social media.
And but look at that drizz. This is where the DJ bit. Ciao amici and Maestro Leo Spezzeria. Welcome to Las Vegas International Pizza Expo, day number 2. And I'm super excited because I'm here with one of my guys, somebody I have very, man, I love you, bro. I love what you do. I love your passion about what you do. I love your product. I don't think this guy needs any introduction, but if you ever heard of something called Mike's Hot Honey, this is Mike. Are you kidding me right now?
And it says hot honey.
And normally the cool thing about whatever you follow Mike is that he literally rolls with an entourage. Not just an entourage complete with a DJ. He's usually got something on dubs. Nah, I'm just kidding, bro. All the way from Brooklyn, right? So this isn't a joke. What's in this case is actually pretty special, and you literally take this all over the world with you, right?
I've taken it to multiple countries. I always get stopped at security at the airport. It's always an interesting experience. But yes, this is my briefcase.
How many of you guys have seen the movie Pulp Fiction? You remember the briefcase?
This is the same model. It's a Frantic Presto lock, same color, same combination. You never see what's in the briefcase. But yeah, it's quite heavy, but I do bring it around with me. I've got handcuffs for it.
Open it up. Let's see what it does, man. Oh, Daniel, insert the angel singing. It's so awesome. So we're having a lot of fun, as we always do here at Pizza University. Mike's always having fun with everything that he's doing with his field. Frank Speranza over there, another guy who doesn't need an introduction, another heavy hitter in the pizza industry. The guy who we always go to with a smile on his face and never says no. So today what we're going to be doing, Mike, I'd like to talk about, first of all, tell me a little bit about the story here. And I think that a lot of these people maybe know you for making honey. But I want to talk a little bit about your background because you're also an amazing pizza maker, right?
Yeah, so I started out in 2010, and I was a pizza hobbyist. I was making a lot of pizza in my home kitchen. And I used to read Slice Blog, which was part of Serious Eats. And I kept on seeing the same name pop up in the comments. It's Paulie Gee. Like,
You guys know Paulie Gee's? Paulie Gee's in Brooklyn?
He was a serial commenter, commenting on every post on Serious Eats and Slice Blog. And Slice Blog at the time was like one of the best resources online for knowledge about pizza. And so I kept on seeing this handle, Paulie Gee. And then one day, Slice Blog profiled Paulie, and they said that he was going to be opening up a wood-fired pizzeria in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, which was right next to where I was living at the time. So first opened up in 2010, I went to the restaurant, and I sat down and was having a pie and came by the table, and I started peppering him with questions about his dough recipe and his oven. He could tell I was obsessed with making pizza, so he invited me to become a pizza apprentice at the restaurant. So I started going in after my day job, learning how to work the oven, make the dough, do all the prep, stretching, and eventually once my reps got up, I was fast enough to work the line and started putting me on dinner shifts. And one day I brought in a bottle of my honey, which at the time was just a hobby. So the name and the recipe go back to 2004, but it was a hobby until 2010. I brought a bottle into Paulie Gee's and he said, "What's this?" I said, "You should try it on a pie." We put it on a hot sopressata pie. It was a hot sopressata from Sala Maria Bigliese, New York, and drizzled post oven with Mike's Hot Honey. And he loved it and asked me if I could make it for the restaurant. So I started making it in small batches in the back of the pizzeria in 2010. And at Paulie Gee's, we call it the pizza theater. So the space where the pizzas are being made is open to the floor of the restaurant, so you can see everybody. They can see you, sort of interact with the customers. And I could see people's reactions to tasting honey on the pizza. People kept on coming up to me asking me if I was the honey guy and where could they buy it. So eventually I got it together to bottle it and start selling it off the bar, and that was November of 2010. And that was the beginning. And I think that that model of just having a great partner in one pizzeria that sort of put the product on the map is something that we've continued to build on. The backbone of our business is our network of independent pizzerias around the country. We work with the best pizzerias in every market, and we take pride in the fact that they are making beautiful pizza with our product. We're nothing without our partners. Nobody's going to eat this product straight up. At least most people won't go straight from the bottom. We need a vehicle to serve it on. We need a great partner. I'm just really grateful for all of our pizza partners around the country who are using the product and making awesome food with it. And what are we making today?
Is there anybody, let me do this. Is there anybody here who has not ever tried Mike's Hot Honey before? It's for you. That's for you.
Good catch. All right.
Now, what we're going to be doing over here, I think that I want to do something reminiscent of maybe a pizza that we would see in your area. And since John was just here doing upside down pizzas, I'd like to do a sauce on top. But I think that to go along with the theme of the Sopressata, can somebody see if my friend over here, let me do this live.
These bottles are new in that they have a FIFO cap, so you can flip them upside down when the honey gets low. Honey comes down to the bottom, and then it's a quick drizzle on the pie. You're not waiting for all the honey to come down. We also have PCs. We've got 0.5 ounce packets, 1 ounce tip cups for delivery and to go. We've got mini jars for weddings, party favors.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to recreate that Hellboy pizza.
The Hellboy was the original pie at Paulie Gee's.
With the Sopressata on it,
That's
right? This is an amazing, this is not Sopressata. It's kind of like the high-end cousin called Spianata from Calabria with the pepperoncino. From my friends at Golfetta. They're a new collaborator with us. Makes some of the most incredible salumi, all from Italy, all from Italian pigs, right? And you guys are going to try this now. So I'm going to bake this up. Did you guys put any cheese, like parm or anything on top of that?
Yeah, we do a little bit of parm.
Yep. So let's try to do this kind of close. I know it's different, but I think that as long as you mentioned that pizza, let's just try to make something that's close and try to recreate that original. What year was that?
That was 2010. There are a lot of great topping combinations, but the one that seems to be tried and true and hits every time is either sopressata or pepperoni and Mike's Hot Honey. Always drizzle post oven. We usually encourage pizzas to cut the pie first, drizzle, just so that you don't get honey all over your pizza cutter. But you want to drizzle as close to consumption as possible. So right before the pie goes out to the floor of the restaurant and is served, you want to drizzle. Some places even drizzle right at the table. They make a theatrical performance out of it, which is cool and memorable. Oftentimes it's can be an Instagram moment for customers. But if it's going out for delivery or to go, we usually recommend our packets are at dip cups, so that way the customer can apply the honey at home right before they eat the pie. But yeah, there's something about the combination of the sweet heat and the savory notes of pepperoni and sopressata that comes together.
So I think that you nailed something on the head, and I talked about this in John's demo for a second. Adding things onto the pizza post-bake. Honey is one of those things that doesn't work very well in an oven because why? It's got natural sugars, which all of a sudden burn. Especially if you're using one of those open flame ovens. You're going to torch the top of the pizza before it ever has a chance to cook. So this is a big thing to understand. Why do we put things on post-bake? Because the aromatic, not even the aromatic, it's really just the residual heat that comes off the pizza, right? All of a sudden you drizzle some of this honey, it gets soft. It kind of gets into the nooks and crannies, everything that's on top, right? No different than adding extra virgin olive oil. We can do extra virgin olive oil on the pizza, yes, right? And just keeps moving things around as they bake. However, if you've got a really beautiful, let's say a finishing oil, We use tons of this partana, which happens to be right across from here, right? It's from Sicily. All of a sudden, you got this beautiful bright green oil. Put that on top of your pizza when it comes out of the oven. That heat from the pizza opens up that aromatic of the oil, and there's something special about it. I'm also going to say this. When I do hot honey or any of the topicals, let's call it topical, right? When I do hot honey, I cut the pizza first, right? Because all of a sudden, you put the drizzle on and then you go to cut it. Where's all that product going to end up? Either on your cutter or on the board underneath the pizza, right? So you kind of wasted it. So I think that it really shines after you cut it, put the stuff on top, put the drizzle on, and then send it to the table. I love the table side presentation I did. That's amazing.
We've seen some places have a lot of success with that. And, with the original and the extra hot, I'll just say that these are two different chili peppers. There's one single varietal chili pepper in our original and a different one in our extra hot. The original is more of a back of the palate heat. The extra hot is a little bit more front of the palate. I would say the original is just a more subtle heat. Extra hot is for heavier pies, so fat will absorb some of the heat. So if you're serving a pie that has heavier toppings, fattier toppings, and you really want the heat to cut through, the extra hot should really cut through all of that fat. The original is a little bit more of a delicate flavor profile. So it's really your preference. You know your customers, so we encourage you to test both. If you guys need product samples, 1258 at our booth. We'll always give away product samples for you to take. We'll ship them to you guys so you can test them out if you're not able to fly back with them. And then on our website, mikesahoney.com, we've got a food service page that has a lot of resources about recipe combinations, topping combinations for a variety of things, pizzas, cocktails, lots of different things. We also have a complete distributor list that shows all of the distributors around the country carry the product, different SKUs that they carry. And there's a lot more information there. So check out our food service page at mikesahoney.com.
I'm gonna point something out also. You notice that everything he keeps talking about, it goes away from the honey and back to his customer. I was very fortunate. I attended an event with you the other night, which is at another very close friend of mine, Vincent Rotolo. He's got a place called Good Pie downtown. And the event was not so much come in, have a drink, drink some honey. It was really about, it was an award ceremony for operators that were really pushing above and beyond and were doing stuff. Can you talk a little bit about what that was all about?
Yeah, so every year we have a tradition of hosting an event Monday night before Pizza Expo. It's Mike's Honey Gold Drizzle Awards. And it's an opportunity for us to recognize excellence among our food service and pizzeria partners. So it's an opportunity for us to bring together our community, bring together a lot of the folks that have been using the product, and just share some of their stories, recognize some of the great food that's being made with the product. So we usually give out 5 or 6 awards. It's our Oscars. So make sure to keep an eye out for that next year. It's always the Monday night before Pizza Expo. We've been doing it at Good Pie. Good Pie was the first pizzeria in Las Vegas to use our product.
Now, I think, again, that's all amazing stuff. The smell of this pizza, first of all, without even anything on it, is amazing. I can see why that Supersata really hits on this. Now, the next question is, do you use the regular or do you use the super hot? I think super hot. I think
you should try the extra hot.
Let's do it.
It's a little bit more new. We've had this since 2020, but really, it's starting to get out into distribution. Food service now, it's widely available. Now available in gallon jugs, packets, a 24 ounce to 12 ounce, and I think this would be a great one for extra hot.
We see students at Pizza University from all over the country, actually all over the world. It's very common to have in a class somebody who might be from Mexico, another person from Ireland. There's people that come in from all over the world to take these classes. So when we start doing things, especially in the category of heat, there's a very different point of view of what's hot and what's really hot. And I think that this was one of those things that we always said, hey, you know what? A lot of people like spicy, but we need something that's a little spicier. And the answer was this one. I'm going to cut this pizza as small as I can so everyone can try a little slice, and we're going to keep banging stuff out. but I wanted you all to have the opportunity to try this just like this. I'm going to give a little dusting, a little bit more dusting of parm because I was a little cheap on it, you know? Do you do a swirl or you do a drizzle?
I
Let me
like
see
a
how you
zig.
do. I want to see you do, dude.
So there
Hit
are
the
multiple
camera.
right
Make sure
ways
you're
to
on. This
drizzle
is
it.
the Instagram moment. This is like watching the guy who pulled the
First of all,
iPhone
most
talk on the
important thing,
iPhone.
laces out, label facing the camera. Always very important for Instagram, for social media.
And but look at that drizz. This is where the DJ bit. Beautiful, beautiful pizza. So, Mike, as always, thank you so much for being here
Thank
with
you,
us.
Leo.